Yo, what up? How's it going, Wishmaker? Hmm. Yo, what's up, Bubble Man? Awesome. I'm glad you're enjoying Battlefield. All right. Almost set up here. What up, Ridvick? Yeah, a little rare Friday stream. Okay. All right. Get our butts in gear here. Isn't like a Rubik's Cube like the more you play, the easier it gets? I mean, I'm not an expert on Rubik's Cubes, but... What's up, Cross? I mean, like, the more things you solve, it gets perpetually easier. Let's fucking go! Fucking Google, man. Alright, so it's all synced up and ready to go. No. Who the fuck said anything about getting Yuffie? Today is Friday. No, we cannot get Zach. And thank you for the good luck. No. You want to do a casual playthrough, go right ahead, game. No one's stopping you. That would have been a kind of a crazy twist if Cloud ended up being Zack. I was Zack all along! I'm not down, just hot. It's fucking 100 degrees again today. What up, Exia? Thank you for the 100-month resub. Appreciate you, dude. Hello, Spidey. How you doing? I mean, if you're talking about, like, the general, like, the Discord general chat, I mean, to try to also claim, like, okay, so the main story of FF7 doesn't include Yuffie and Vincent. No, the main story does include Yuffie and Vincent. They're canon characters. But the bare minimum required to beat the game does not include them. But that doesn't mean they're not part of the story. Like, that's the difference. Like, there's a difference between bare minimum to complete the game and the story of the game. What up, Chryso? How you doing, man? I don't have any eyes. What? Oh, I mean, yeah, they're probably still under my bed. I'd have to look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, see, like, the interesting thing would have been, like, let's say FF7 Remake never came out, and never, like, let's say there was or, like, Advent Children didn't come out, and, like, Yuffie and Vincent weren't in Advent Children. Then there'd be, like, there'd be a discussion of, like, well, maybe Yuffie and Vincent aren't canon. Maybe they're not part of the story, but, you know, obviously that's not the case. No, the question was, how long does it take to play through the story of Rebirth? And then the clarification question is asked, like, okay, well, if you're talking, like, the story, you know, you include side quests and include optional things because that's the story. But like, nobody ever said just the bare minimum to get to the credits. That was never uttered. It was never said bare minimum. What's up, Sam? How you doing? The question was, how long does it take to play through the story of Rebirth? Yeah, just the story is the story. Like, that's the canon story. So, like, to me, when you say just the story, you're including side quests that do the story. Like, going through a playthrough of Rebirth, you might not do a hard mode, you might not complete, you know, like, I don't even remember if there were super bosses. I mean, I guess the VR stuff were super bosses. I don't think just a story implies bare minimum. Not to me, not when you're talking a JRPG. That is not what I think of when somebody says just a story. Because there is just a story that has optional stuff. Nice, Sam. Very good. How are you enjoying FF6 so far as a whole? I mean, that's a pretty bad analogy. Honestly, like, if you're talking an RPG game, people say, how long did it take to get through just the story? It's not just the bare... Like, to me, it does not mean just the bare minimum required to beat the game. It's like, the person is telling me, I want to experience the story. How long does it take to get through the story of the game? And most people, I think, look at side questing as something that they typically do in most first playthroughs of a big RPG. You might not do all the mini games and things of that nature, but you're gonna do all the character side quests. Yeah, FF6 has a really good story. Very good characters. It's very well done. if somebody like said, what's the, like the right question would have been, what's like, what's the, how long does it take just to beat the game? Like bare minimum to beat the game. Okay, you want to beat the game? Okay, that's a different thing. That's not just a story. It's, you want to beat the game. Okay. I just want to beat the game. That says more bare minimum than I want to play the story. Ahoy, Asvext, how you doing? Can I run, please? Thank you. 1, 2, 3. You know, Shinto, that's a little bit of context that they didn't ever really need to clarify that, but I'm still glad they did. You know, I'm still glad that they did. It is kind of funny, though, for you to use Yuffie and Vincent in the Northern Crater and then they're not in the final cutscene. It's like, yeah, right after we beat them, we just really quickly took the Highwind back, and then the crew came back to pick you guys up, and yada yada. It's like you gotta yada yada your way through it a little bit, but it's fine. Like, the disconnect for us, Chryso, is when someone wants to, like, say, okay, I played through the story, but then you skipped half the story. Well, no, you didn't play through the story, you just beat the game, right? And so, like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, when we're talking going through just the story, I mean, that includes side questing and, you know, the character side quests and things like that. Because that's the story of the game. If you're saying just wanting to beat the game, that doesn't include side quests. You don't have to do side quests. You don't have to do fuck all. But like, what I would be saying is just the story. Like, you're not completing all the area collection shit. You're not doing all the mini games. You're not doing robot stuff. You're not doing chocobo racing. You're not doing chocobo glide. Yada yada. Right? Like, just the story is, okay, main story plus all the character side quests, like the green side quests for the characters. That's just the story for me. You know what I mean? Like, that's the that's the story. Completing the Grasslands region collection map data, right? That's obviously not story. That's just like the world building, that's just tasks. You know, nothing about that is really story-driven, although there are some good little things. I don't remember if it was a side quest. I think it wasn't. It was just a, like the little Turk, training facility. That's one of the, it's the Gilgamesh Genji gear map collection stuff, which does have some story to it, but I would also say it's not necessary. Like, you don't need to really include that. Well, you don't have to do any side quests in your run, so it doesn't really matter. But there are, like, there's a Tifa side quest at the gym that builds her story, her character, and her relationship with Cloud. Like, there's these little side quests you do that add to the character development and the story. Yeah, I'm really hoping, because we didn't really get a lot. I mean, we did get some Yuffie, but, like, her side quests were... I mean, we did get, like, some information about Yuffie and Zack, kind of. And Ever Crisis has expanded on that with, like, Yuffie having a crush on Zack, which is interesting. Don't know if necessary, but interesting. But yeah, you get lots of stuff from the side quests, the green side quests. I mean, again, nobody is saying they're required to clear the zone. I don't know where we're even getting that, but like that's not but that's not just a story. Like just doing the bare minimum to clear the zone is not just a story, because you're missing story. Like you look at the original FF7 by skipping Yuffie and Vincent and a whole bunch of stuff. That's not just a story. The story includes Yuffie and Vincent. By skipping them, you're not doing just a story, you're doing cliff notes, you're doing story light. You're doing 50% of the story, or 60, or 30, you know? You're not doing just a story anymore, you're skipping story. When you're skipping story, you're not doing just a story. In that case, you're doing just the bare minimum to beat the game. You're not doing just a story. There's a difference. You're doing the bare minimum to beat the game, you're not doing just the story, because you're skipping story. That's a fact. And that's the easiest way to put it, is you're not doing just a story, you're skipping story to do just the bare minimum to beat the game. Right? What's up, Epion? Nope, you are not too late. Like, we're getting down to definitions. That's the way I look at it. If you say just a story, but you're skipping story, just because it's, you know, that's just you doing the bare minimum, it's no longer just a story, though. Use a different word or phrase, because it's not just a story, it's just the bare minimum to beat the game. Because you're skipping story in lieu of doing the bare minimum to beat the game, you're no longer doing just a story, you're skipping story to just beat the game. So it's not just the story anymore, it's less than just the story. Or, much like in the speedrun of FF7, we do, I don't like putting a percent, but it's like 50% though. But the main story, like you're talking just the MSQ, you're talking just the main scenario quest. It's not the main story. It's because the whole game, like the whole thing that goes into character development or what have you, is the main story, but some of it's not required. You're talking about like just the bare minimum to beat the game, but that's not just the story. You're skipping stuff. Yeah, but to be fair, the MSQ is the whole story of FF14. It's not like doing side quests in FF14 give you a whole lot more. Like, the MSQ is a whole different thing in itself. But it tells you the whole story. Like, you're not gonna miss anything of the expansion if you do the MSQ. Yeah, but it's not a proper point of reference because it's not the same. Like, not every game does MSQ the same. Most games have an MSQ now. Not every game does it the same. And just following the MSQ in Rebirth, you're missing a lot of the story. So again, it's not just the story, because like if we were to discuss Rebirth and the story of Rebirth, and your only frame of reference is just doing the MSQ, there's like no point in even having a discussion with you. Like, you're so uninformed on everything that there's no point in having the discussion. Go home, do your homework, and we'll have a discussion later kind of thing. So to me, if just the bare minimum doesn't prepare you enough to even have a discussion about the story of the game, then it's not really enough, in my opinion. It's enough to get you to the end credits, but it's not enough to even understand the story or know the story of the game. And Rebirth has a lot of side quests. It's got a lot of side content. They purposely made it so if you wanted to do just bare minimum, which I don't think many people did in their first playthrough, I'd be shocked if a lot did. But if you did just want to do the bare minimum, you're going to miss a whole lot of stuff and not really understand a lot of what's going on. I think so, Kyle. I mean, I can see you. I mean, Johnny's, like, completing Johnny's hotel is just a lot of, like, minigame completions, hard mode stuff, I think. You know, doing his hotel is not necessary for the story, but he does have a side quest in Costa del Sol where you gotta, like, find... I don't remember what it was, but you gotta go like 4 or 5 different locations and help his doppelgangers find shit. What is Der Richter FF10? What is that? And Octopath True Last Boss, are they part of the story? I mean, yes. Even though I didn't get to finish Octopath Traveler's true final boss, there's enough, like, when you're playing Octopath Traveler, if you go through all the side content, it talks about it and it builds you up to this confrontation, and yes, that's a true final boss. The boss have to complete me. You mean Nemesis? We're talking about Nemesis? Oh, I look at 10's a little differently because if you're comparing 10's Nemesis like fight to Octopath Traveler's build up to its true boss is night and day. Like, all you do in FF10 is just, you know, get a bunch of monsters into the arena. There is no story behind it. There is no overarching narrative talking about this stuff. Whereas in Octopath, it does an amazing job of building you over, like, throughout the whole game up to this conflict with the true final boss. So, like, to me, they're not comparable together to each other. Octopath's, like, story of that boss and the build-up to that boss is far superior than Nemesis in FF10. What up, Hunter? How you doing, man? We might, Hunter. You know, we're always looking for folks. We'll have to see where we're at. Where we're both at there. Yeah, like, there's a difference between a super boss being built into the narrative of a game, which Octopath does, and FF10, where it's just, hey, it's a super boss. Like, you look at how Final Fantasy have done super bosses, like, throughout the years, like FF7. Ruby and Emerald Weapon have, like, no build-up. Ultimate Weapon, like, has the most build-up of all of them, but it's still not much. You know? FF9, Hades has no build-up. Ozma has no build-up. FF8, Ultima Weapon and Omega Weapon, literally no build, like, nothing. Nothing about the main story or anything related to the story at all. So, they did something completely different with Octopath Traveler. It's kind of like a Sixth Sense kind of thing, where if you played through it all like once and then you end up going through what you need to do to do that final boss fight, then if you were to replay Octopath Traveler, you notice all these little context clues sprinkled throughout the game that you might not have noticed before, because the true like final super boss is layered into the story of the game. Yeah, exactly. I mean, like what I don't know what people thought Rebirth was going to be, and I find the people that are the most dissatisfied with Rebirth are people that wanted to see Aerith live. And I'm sorry, I can't stand that section of the fan base because, well, number one, FF7 is my favorite game of all time. And to have Aerith live would just completely destroy the story of FF7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12. Like, without Aerith dying, she's not in the live stream to save the world, basically, helping the planet stop Meteor. Like, Aerith cannot survive for the story of FF7 to work. So when people are mad at Rebirth because, well, Aerith wasn't saved, it's like, are you even like an FF7 fan? I mean, it's literally a one-to-one remake right now, Shinto. We've had this discussion before. There's no significant departure from remake and Rebirth so far to the original. There's nothing. It's literally 99% the same game. Same story, same everything. There's no difference. I'm not in delusion. Like, name the differences. Like, I have yet to have anybody name anything significant that has changed. Like, nothing significant has changed in Remake and Rebirth to the original at all. It's the same main story all the way through. It's just expanded little side contents here, giving you more, but there is no change. It's not... How is the end of Rebirth completely changed? Aerith's still dead. We're still going to the Northern Crater. Like, what's the... What? You can't just make a vague statement of the end of Rebirth is completely changed. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. The fight at the end? No. The fight at the end with Sephiroth, Cloud, and Aerith? No? What does that have to do with anything? It didn't change anything. Hate takes time, Gary. Hate takes time to build. Location is a change, but it's not like it's not like the location on the world map of the temple matters. Like, it's not crucial to the story. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, like, where the temple is situated doesn't really matter. Whether there is this red herring of, is it the real black materia, is it not the real black materia? You only ever really see one. I think it was just Aerith's attempt to deceive Sephiroth that, oh, this is not the real thing, and it is the real thing, you know. Yeah, but, like, those changes, like, what did the Ghost do in Rebirth? Nothing. What did playing as Zack do in Rebirth? Nothing yet. Well, yeah, expansion is not change, right? Like, getting to have to do more stuff in a zone is not change. It's expansion of the same thing. Now, if during that process of expanding the narrative and doing more things in each region, as opposed to, like, just being in there for 5 seconds and leaving, then there's something to be talked about. But nothing we really did in those regions changed the core narrative. You're just getting more of the story, and you're getting more fleshed out character moments. Like, it doesn't change the story that we learn where Tifa went for her surgery after getting cut by Sephiroth. We already knew that Zangan saved her and took her somewhere, and she obviously got treated. Learning where that is and who did it doesn't change the story. It just expands it and explains some stuff. Rocket Town will be in part 3. Yeah. But Sid is there, whether he's playable or not. Technically speaking, if we want to get technical, nothing has changed because you only play as Sid in the original when we go to Rocket Town. I don't get to play as him before then, and we never went to Rocket Town. Now, you could argue, well, we went to Rocket Town in the original before we went to the temple, and that's fair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. But they already explained why they weren't having Vincent and Sid be playable for Rebirth, because they just didn't have time to do it all. And so they had to make this little narrative change, but it doesn't actually change anything that happened, because Sid, it's not like Sid's not there with us at the temple for some of it. It's not like, you know, he's not part of the story at that point. Goodness gracious. There we go. You know? So, like, they made a conscious choice to, because they couldn't get Sid, well, we're not gonna, if we can't play as Sid, we're not gonna do Rocket Town yet until you can play as Sid in part 3, you know. Right, Gary, like, he joins the party. Like, here's what's gonna end up happening, because we haven't had that official Sid is joining us moment yet. That happened in the original when we flew away, they shot down the tiny Bronco, we have a little discussion with him, he goes, well, hell, what the hell, I'm in, right? Like, you motherfucker, I'm in. We're still gonna get that moment where something happens in part 3 that turns Sid from a spectator / helper to I'm joining the fight. Right, Gary. Exactly. It doesn't change the story, it's just we don't get to play as Red. That doesn't mean the story's different. Right. So, like, we're gonna have that falling out with Shinra in part 3, and then Sid's gonna join the fight, right? You son of a bitch, yes! That's what it is. You son of a bitch, I'm in! Thank you, Rando, I knew I was missing it. I'm like, son of a bitch, you son of a bitch, I'm in. We're gonna get that moment with Sid where he goes from spectator, again, / helper, to joining us in the fight. And thank you, Rando, for 130 month for the tier 2 sub. But again, if you look at Remake and Rebirth and pull it together, and you do a storyboard side by side with the original, it's beat for beat the same story. And yes, does Rebirth have more branches that branch out, telling more and more story than the original did? Yes. But but it still runs on a parallel line. Like, the Remake and Rebirth story and the original story are still running in a parallel line. Nothing has changed that. Does that mean part 3 isn't gonna do something? It might. I don't think it will. Personally, I don't think it's gonna do some crazy narrative change just for the sake of it. But I do think we're gonna get more in depth of, like, okay, how is Aerith alive in the live stream, like alive in the live stream, helping, you know, the planet stop Meteor with the live stream? Like, we're gonna get more of that. We're gonna get an explanation as to how that's happening. And then we're gonna be there to see, like, she's not doing that for free. She's gonna be assaulted by Jenova, Sephiroth, Hojo, whatever, and Zack's gonna be protecting her. That's the most logical conclusion that they're doing, is that Zack and Aerith are gonna reunite down below, and all of us are gonna be fighting up above, and together we're gonna beat the thing. She's gonna be in part 3, Bruce, relax. Yeah, but I don't think, like, this whole idea, like, that has come about, that Sephiroth somehow is omnipotent and knows the future. I don't believe that. I'm not a part of that train. I'm not, like, everything is, like, everything is literally playing out the same. No one's omnipotent. I think they realized that kind of narrative idea was not going to work in Remake. That's why at Rebirth, at the very beginning of Rebirth, they made a point to have, like, that discussion between Aerith and Red that got rid of the omnipotence. You know? So I think, like, they made a point to point out, okay, maybe the omnipotence idea was a bad one. We're gonna get rid of that. No one's omnipotent. Sephiroth's not omnipotent. Aerith's not omnipotent. Nobody knows the future. It's the same fucking thing. Nobody knows the future. I honestly think, like, at Remake, they thought it was something that looked cool visually. And then when they saw the backlash of it, and then they had to explain what it meant, they're like, you know what, this is a bad idea. But it's not a sequel. Calling it a sequel is wrong. It's the same story. It's not a sequel. It's literally a remake of the original. No. Like I said, there's not enough differences to call it alternative. There's literally no differences poignant enough to define it as alternative. Yet, at least, like I said, there's always a chance that part 3 comes in and completely fucks everything. We don't know. I don't know. I'm not omnipotent. But if you go by Remake and Rebirth so far, it's the same thing. It's the same exact story so far. It all hinges on part 3, because like we discussed the other day, Remake set up stuff, Rebirth set up a lot more, and paid off what? Dyne? Like what we discussed this the other day. It paid off Dyne and a little bit of Red's story. Other than that, everything else is still needing to be finished. You know? I think they know better than to, like, literally the fan base has been, like, not upset, but, like, the fan base has been looking for closure for the last, like, decade on this. I don't think they're gonna leave part 3 on a cliffhanger and dangle it even more in our face. No way. Well, nobody knows what the ghosts are even for. They conjecture in Remake that the ghosts are trying to ensure that the true timeline remains the same, right? And then in Rebirth, the ghosts are literally non-existent throughout the majority of the game. And the parts that they are in, they don't do anything. So, right now, I think the ghosts are turning into more to end up being like the spirits of the ancients or something. What's up, Mr. Goran? Right now, the ghosts are the biggest red herring I've ever seen in anything. Like, it's a MacGuffin of MacGuffins right now, are the Force ghosts. And we're all just wondering what the fuck it's gonna even amount to. And there's some that just would wish they would disappear entirely. There are some, I know that they're not just gonna completely remove them and just hope nobody notices or asks questions. But I don't think they're gonna be as important as people thought they were in Remake Part 1. Like, the whole idea that, oh, we're gonna save Aerith, this is confirmation we're gonna save Aerith. Well, no. We already had that answer. No, you're not saving Aerith. It's nothing to do with that. Okay, well, now what are they for? If not to save Aerith, what are they for? We're talking about the spirit ghosts in Rebirth and Remake. Oh, I think that the true fans of FF7 didn't want to see the story change so dramatically to have Aerith live. Obviously, the people that only care about Aerith as a character and not the story as a whole wanted to see Aerith live. I mean, he might be delusional, but the other people aren't. And they wouldn't be sad if she's alive. She's fucking dead. Not right now. But Star Wars is always on the horizon. Your idea would work, Shinto, if Cloud was the only one sad and everyone else was happy and wondering why Cloud's so sad. Right? And Cloud just sitting there all depressed thinking she's dead. Well, she's not actually dead because she's alive because everybody else is acting happy. You know? No, it's not another dimension. I think it's gonna end up being a live stream type thing, like a Limbo type live stream thing that Aerith has kind of created. But we know from the original story that Aerith when Aerith dies, she she rejoins the planet, but is alive in the afterlife, if that makes sense. She's not alive, but she's alive. She has a consciousness that survives in the live stream. Yeah. In Avid Children, she was able to talk to Cloud. She's still... her consciousness still exists in the world. She was able to use her powers to use the live stream to stop Meteor. She still exists in a form, but she's not alive. I think, look, I think if we're being honest, if Cloud killed Aerith, the party wouldn't even be around him. So no, I don't think they think Cloud killed her. They arrived to see what happened. They don't think Cloud killed her. Right? Like, Barrett especially would not be hanging around Cloud if he killed Aerith. Tifa might be the only person that would hang around Cloud and try to still save his ass if he ended up killing Aerith, and they think he killed Aerith. She might be the only one who bothers to stick it out with him. Everybody else would have been gone. Don't do it, Reno. Don't you do it, Reno. Don't give in to the gotcha. Have faith that will come up again in either another draw or become part of the normal draw ticket cycle. Marlene knowing what she knows? What does she know? Let's start with, what do you think she knows? If anything, she's 4. Let's remember she's fucking 4. Like, what does Aerith know? Or what does Marlene know? Yeah, and we're not gonna really ever learn what any of that means, Solid Snake, until part 3. Hell, we might not even ever know what all these different stamp worlds mean. Whether it matters or not, it's one of those things where it's just dangling a carrot all the way out here so far that I can't be bothered to care. You know what I mean? Yeah, Cloud has to save her. I mean, that could boil down to just the general concept that Marlene already knows of Aerith's in trouble. You know, they're fighting against Shinra. Like, we don't really... Like, save her from what? Protect her from what? I think Marlene says, like, the bad man? I don't even remember what she says. I think she implies Sephiroth, but I don't know. I think the only thing that here's the only thing that we know. And this could very well be it, okay? When Aerith in Remake touched Marlene saw visions of the future, and presumably including Aerith's death. That could be all it is. Marlene didn't get her memory wiped like everybody else, so Marlene might still have whatever little bit of imagery was accidentally transferred to her through contact with Aerith, and she just thinks she's in trouble, Cloud's gotta rescue her, and that's it. Well, Red got his memory wiped. Red and Aerith got their memories wiped. So it would only, Marlene now would be the only character, and mind you, the Marlene that we're talking to isn't even the same Marlene, because that Marlene's alive, and that the Marlene we're talking to is in Zack's weird stamp world. What that means, I don't know. I'd be lying if I said I knew, but anyone would be lying if they said they knew. So what does that mean? Fucking nothing. Like, really early on in Rebirth, Aerith, and I think it's in Calm, no. It might be in Calm or it's in Junon. It's one of the two inns. I think it's Junon Inn. Aerith and Red are chatting, and their mind's been wiped. We don't even know what any of those things are, Shinto. To say it's a multiverse would be presumptive. I have no fucking clue. Nobody knows what any of it means. Or what it's even gonna matter. So no, like, the game we're playing is the same game. Multiverse or not. No, I don't think it was Costa del Sol. It was way sooner than that. I'm 99% sure it was Junon. 99.9% sure it was Junon. Zack is in what world? We don't even know what it is. What it matters, we don't know. So why care? It has nothing to do with our current, with the current and actual story, so who cares? You think it's a multiverse? I don't fucking know. Yeah, I'm like 99% sure it was Junon, like it, yeah. Where Aerith and Red have a conversation, and they don't have the omnipotence from the ghosts anymore. Like the whispers, they're not whatever knowledge they had, it's all gone. So that was their way of just poofing like the omnipotence and the future knowing fortune teller bullshit out the window. Yeah, and that would be a change if possible, but there's no reason to believe that's going to happen yet, Citizen. Like I said, the only thing I think is going to happen is Zack's going to end up protecting Aerith while she's trying to summon Holy and use the live stream to stop Meteor. I think that's going to be the sum total of Zack's purpose. It would also explain how they're together at the end, like in Avid Children, you see them together. You know, and Zack's not just going to be on the sidelines as a spectator in part 3, so the most logical thing that Zack's going to do is be Aerith's bodyguard in the afterlife while she's trying to help all of us in the living world. And that wouldn't necessarily even be a change. That would just be another explanation. That would just be an expansion of the OG. Like, having Zack be there and protecting Aerith doesn't change the... Like, what's the main story thing? Okay, Aerith dies, she summons Holy, she summons the live stream to save the world, right? That's the main story bit. How she does it is expansion. So if Zack is there protecting her, helping her while she's doing it, great. That's not a change, it's an expansion of that narrative. I don't think anything will happen in that regard, Gary. Correct. So here's the way it works, okay? Aerith, well, she's praying at the City of the Ancients, she's praying for Holy. Why? Meteor hasn't been summoned yet, so why is she doing it? I don't know. Preemptive measure. She thinks it's gonna help. She might know that she's already gonna die and Meteor's gonna get summoned, so she needs to do this now while she's alive. Right? And then and the Northern Crater, they, like Sephiroth, Jenova, and them, they actually trap Holy so that it can't stop Meteor. That's why we need to defeat him to untrap it. Releases, oh no, it's too late for Holy. Why? I don't know. Meteor's too close, I guess? I don't know. Bad translation? I don't know. Thanks, I mainly sinned. Good to see you again, buddy. The bottom line is, Holy's not enough, so what happens? Aerith summons forth the live stream using her ancient powers, which, how did she learn to do that? I don't know. But in Rebirth, they gave us a way of knowing, because in the Temple of the Ancients, she learns how to control the live stream. Gee, I wonder why she needs to learn this. It's definitely not going to come into play later, right? No, they're obviously... So, like, here's where she's learning to use her ancient powers to control the live stream, albeit at a very small scale. But that's not to say she wouldn't be able to do it at a larger scale later on, which she ends up doing, right? No? Okay, Reno, you tell me why it's important that Aerith learned how to control the live stream in the temple. Oh, wait. Well, you have to also remember with the original, they had to cut a lot of content. They changed a lot of things because of development cycles, so we didn't get all of FF7 that we were gonna get if it didn't go through development hell. And this is the opportunity for the same devs, the same creators of this game, to tell the whole story the way they originally wanted to, right? What's up, Disguyer6? I mean, I'm just coming to logical conclusions with the data that we've been given right now. Like, is there an explanation as to how Aerith could control, or at least help control, the live stream to stop Meteor at the end of FF7? No. No fucking clue. I don't know the details of that, Gary. It might be the other way around where Nomura wanted to kill off everybody, and everybody else said no. I don't know. But the bottom line is whatever makes it into the game is still the canon, right? Whether some ideas got scrapped or not, that's what, you know, concept art is for. It doesn't make the concept art canon. Whatever actually is put to paper is canon. That's like if you write a rough draft of a legal document, that's not the canon legal document. Whatever the final draft is that's submitted and signed, that's it. That's the canon, right? Correct. So I think the most logical thing of like, oh, why does Aerith need to learn to control the live stream in the Temple of the Ancients? It's a way of explaining how she's able to help control the live stream from the afterlife to save the world. Easy, one-to-one, easy connection, no-brainer. Rather than it being just a complete, well, I don't know, how did she learn to do that? And then everyone just gotta accept, well, she's an ancient and, you know, she just could. Okay. So instead they go, well, let's just have her do a little bit of it to help you get through the temple, and that just removes that from the equation entirely. See, and that's what I can appreciate about Yoko Taro, because he gives zero fucks. He lets everybody else figure it out. But if he just flat out says, yep, every appearance of 2B is canon, then now it's up to everybody else to explain it. He doesn't have to. He just goes, yep. Everything she's in is canon. Deal with it. Well, but how does it explain this? I don't know. You figure it out. Like, he's just a massive troll. And I think that's why people like him, because he's just a massive troll. Like, Yoko Taro might be the biggest troll game developer that's existed. I don't know. guys have not been great today. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I'm stoked for part 3, because, like, literally part 3 is going to have every single thing. Like, Remake was just Midgar. Rebirth did, like, a lot of stuff, but nothing of giant, like, content. Right? Like, it was a huge game, but they got rid of all the little tiny dilly-dally things, you know, as I would put it. Like, the only significant thing that it ended on was obviously Aerith's death. Part 3 has every fucking payoff waiting, just a giant checklist of all these big moments and big payoffs. It's gonna be just a non-stop fucking bombardment of shit. It's gonna be crazy. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There's no way they do a part 4. They're not gonna do that. They know they have to bring it home. They know they have to bring it home here. I mean, the Gi were already expanded on in a great way, and I would argue the Gi were the only significant... Okay, there were 2 significant changes, one more so than the other. The biggest change from Rebirth and Remake to the OG is actually giving the Gi something of a purpose. Making the Gi an alien tribe that created the black materia with the purpose of destroying the Earth so they could finally rest in peace, because the ancients were pricks and didn't like the Gi, is much better than just, oh, there's some random tribe, probably Native American tribe, I don't know, who the fuck knows, but just some random tribe that attacks Cosmo Canyon. That's an actual change. It's not just an expansion, it's a genuine change. Because in the original, the ancients made both the black materia and the white materia. How they did it is never really explained enough. My speculation would be in the process of making the ultimate white magic, they accidentally made the ultimate black magic, but that doesn't matter. In Rebirth, it's now the Gi who did it, so that's an actual change. Not just an expansion, that's an actual concrete change from the original. The second change, actual change, and it's a 2-parter, is the Gongaga, not the Gongaga, the Corel reactor is already exploded, and it's gone. And in that process, it left a giant pool of Mako that 2 little minor weapons with huge materia for bellies are swimming around in. That's a pretty big change, too. Not just because, oh, well, so where are we gonna... So, the huge materia now is Shinra's gonna try to take it from the whales, and we're gonna watch whales getting the materia extracted and dying, and that's gonna be a tearful part, like a Free Willy moment, if you will. But, like, we're no longer going it, like, we're not gonna do the train thing anymore, where we ride a train and chase a train down from Corel. That is a change. Yes, very contextual whales. Yes. So those are the actual 2 things I would label as changes from the OG to Remake and Rebirth. So far, it's those 2 bits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And having Tifa fall into the live stream and have a little mini live stream moment, it's not really a change. It's expanding a little bit. And it gives a little more context for when Tifa will enter the live stream with Cloud and enter his subconscious. So it's kind of, it's a little bit of a teaser for that. But I wouldn't label it as a change per se, just because it occurred. It doesn't take anything from the original and change it. it just adds a new development. No, like the gaslighting? Oh my god, it was that was some fuck right there, dude. Like making Bugenhagen just a complete fucking dick. I mean, we had a fun time about that one. Like, oh my god, dude. Oh, big titty hot woman doesn't know anything. Oh, dude, fucking just a riot, dude. You know what makes that part even funnier? And we poked fun at this while I was playing Rebirth. But it's fun to revisit. So what makes that moment even funnier is that, okay, so Tifa gets up and says, I actually fell into the live stream, and talks about her experience. And then Aerith and they make fun of her for it, right? Like, Bugenhagen makes fun of her, everybody thinks she's out of her mind, whatever, right? Aerith just comes up like, well, I'm the last living ancient. You know, I'm the last living embodiment of what you guys worship. And they're like, praise be! They're like, oh, they just like fully embrace it. Like, what the fuck? So, Tifa's a dumbass, big-titted bimbo, and Aerith's just the messiah. Like, what? What the fuck is wrong with these people? He's obviously not a breast guy. Oh, dear. But it just makes it so much funnier that they so quickly dismiss Tifa for her experience, but just jump right on this ship of Aerith is the last ancient. Yes! You take that back. So it's just like Cosmo Canyon. I love the design of it. You know, there isn't an area that I didn't like in Rebirth, but and Bugenhagen does eventually apologize to Tifa for what he said, but and then he just chalks it up to being an old man that's kind of lost faith in the world, essentially. But they literally kind of turned Bugenhagen into an old curmudgeon. At least at the beginning. Yeah. I think they do a good job of explaining it, though, that Bugenhagen, through his long life, is also just flat out demoralized. Until we came along and showed him what could be, he had resigned everything to death. He had resigned the planet to destruction, nothing he could do about it, and it was just a ticking time bomb that he'll be glad that he's actually dead before he sees it actually happen. But through our journey and, you know, going through Cosmo Canyon, we changed Bugenhagen's outlook on the future. And I think that's going to be more important because he's not just some wise old man, like a flawless wise old man that we seek advice from. He was a flawed man that has been reinvigorated by us. And then when we seek his help in part 3, which if they, you know, stick to how the OG did it, it's going to be a fun little part. What was the other issue with Cosmo, Chryso, you think? I think Cloud technically is already in Avalanche. The card game that you had to look up where they were? Oh! Yeah, there was, I think I remember what you're talking about. Like, there was one card opponent that took me so long to actually find on the map. Yeah. And you know what? I think it was just, it just happened to be like right there in one of the shops. And I'm like, I felt so stupid once I finally found them. But it was like, for some reason, it just was not intuitive to me to find them. But once I did find them, I did feel dumb. I'll say that. I did feel dumb for not being able to find them. So, I don't know if it was more me or whatever. And he's just a consultant. I mean, technically speaking right now, he is a part of Avalanche when he signs a contract, even as a mercenary. He's still technically part of Avalanche at that point. There would no be differentiating between them. Either way, I did not appreciate how long it took me to find that fucking card player. I'm with you on that one, Chryso. I'm with you on that. I need to grab my water bottle, which is on the bed, so one second. Yeah, no, if he was tried, he would have been, he was a part of Avalanche. He would be convicted as a terrorist with Avalanche, for sure. So while, like, Cloud may not, you know, fully be on board with the we give our hearts to Avalanche thing, he definitely is a member of Avalanche the moment he signs a contract with them to be a mercenary. He's a part of the team. Well, yeah, that's what we were talking about, Ichiyu. We were talking about how Bugenhagen was a bit of a dick in Rebirth. He does make up for it, like we said at the end of the Cosmo section, but the way he treats Tifa and the way he dismisses, you know, just dismisses them it definitely did take me by surprise. It definitely was not something I expected, but I wasn't exactly against the idea either. And see, I think he would have if he wasn't just so demoralized as he was. I think Bugenhagen, if he wasn't so demoralized, would have been lining up to talk with Tifa all day, try to draw pictures, whatever the hell, to get every information that he could glean from her about the weapons, the huge material, what it was like inside the shell, whatever. You know, could she breathe? I don't know. It doesn't seem like she was gasping for air. So, or she just, you know, she's Titus and everyone in that universe can fucking hold their breath without issue. But I would imagine she was able to breathe in there or she would have died. It's just random. It's kind of like when cactuars spawn randomly. The only way to buff that up is with the high wind, wait. I don't know if the high wind rarity thing matters for everything, but the guild buffs, which we have at max. What's up, Elusive? Yeah, I don't remember that, actually. I might have blacked out when Nanaki said they would get him the black materia. Because they want to use the black materia to destroy the world so they would die. Alright, Elusive, get some sleep, buddy. Those gee idiots. Those Gideons, dude. Fucking Gideons. Giggity gig. I think they, well, if we're to believe Ginatok at his word, which, I mean, for what it's worth, like, the story he tells is that the Gi only made the black materia out of desperation to destroy the world because the ancients were basically dicks to them and didn't like them. So, like, I don't know. I think that the black, like, the Gi didn't just come to the planet and then make the black materia and then try to summon meteor to destroy the world. It was only a last resort because the Gi were not allowed to assimilate in the live stream and were perpetual undeath. And they didn't want to be in undeath anymore, and the ancients wouldn't allow them, wouldn't help them, didn't like them, whatever the fuck. Well, yeah, that's what we're told. But that doesn't change the fact that the ancients did not like the Gi, and that's what we're told also. I don't know if they can go back home. We don't really know how they got here in the first place. That's a little something they failed to explain, I think, if I'm remembering right. I will be paying close attention to that part when we do our next playthrough before part 3 comes out. Yeah. I don't think the story of Jenova or her purpose has changed. I'd have to go through that cutscene again, Chryso. The way Ginatak explains it, though, I know for a fact there was a mixture of, because they were not of the planet, they couldn't move on to the live stream, but also the ancients weren't really friendly to them. I know that as well. I know that's part of it, and they felt the desperation to create the black materia because of the ancients. It's something the ancients did or would not do to help the Gi pass on made them make the black materia. Yeah, like I was just saying, Shinto, before, like, once we have a release date of part 3, we'll set up a remake, rebirth, replay to get all caught up in time for launch day. Obviously, I'm not going to be doing hard mode and shit like that. We're just going to be going through all the story and side quest stuff. I mean, Crisis Core Reunion? Well, I'm going to have to play that sooner, because raiding starts next week in WoW, so we'll probably be back to a more Square Enix marathon-oriented stream schedule with sprinkled in FF7 runs here or there, like we were doing before. I still got a lot of Square Enix games to get through for the marathon. Well, Jenova, like, we don't even know technically if Jenova can die. What we do know is that Jenova has assimilated with the live streams somewhat, and that's how she is poisoned it in Advent Children, creating the geostigma. She's a malevolent threat that can't be allowed to merge with the live stream, or, like, that's how Sephiroth became so powerful, is because when Cloud yeeted him into the Mako reactor, Sephiroth became a traveler of the live stream, and he was able to survive because of the Jenova cells in his body, and Jenova also gained the knowledge from the live stream in that process too. So, like, Advent Children was a way of cleansing, and I mean, it's no definitive thing, but we're led to kind of believe that at the end of Advent Children, Jenova's gone for good, but, you know, they could always bring her back because it's not that definite. But what we know is that the party cannot allow Jenova to assimilate with the live stream, but the most likely thing is we're gonna get what the devs have said, is that the remake trilogy is gonna sync up with Advent Children. So all that stuff's gonna end up being the same, and Advent Children is the result of us not completely removing Jenova, you know, or being, I guess, careless with Jenova. It's not about a simulation. He's still getting the knowledge of the live stream. Like, he was able to traverse the live stream and gain knowledge from the live stream. and thus Jenova also gained that same knowledge because all her cells basically are a hive mind assimilating into one, right? At the end of the day. You don't remember Advent Children? You should watch it. You should rewatch it. Just skip the part with Bahamut for your own sanity and mine. Correct, but he gained the knowledge of the live stream and gained the knowledge of the ancients by being a traveler of the live stream is the exact phrasing he uses. So because he couldn't die because of the Jenova cells in his body, he was able to learn the knowledge of the ancients through being a traveler of the live stream, thus also passing that knowledge on to Jenova as well by proxy. And then when we defeat Jenova and Sephiroth at the end of this game, her body, you know, is in the live stream and poisons it, a la Geostigma in Advent Children. I have no idea, Narcoburger, but we'll find out. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do. They have a tall order ahead of them, but I am... If Remake Part 1 and Rebirth is anything to go by, I think they're gonna pull it off. I do. I think they're gonna pull off Part 3. I genuinely do. Yes. I mean, well, Jenova is described as a virus to the ancients. They when she poisons them basically and creates a giant civil war, you know, long before the events of FF7, that is basically her acting as a virus, infecting the ancients. Parasite, yeah, parasite, thing of that nature, yeah. I think the word virus might have been used by Lucrezia. We're gonna have to, you know, we're gonna have to do an OG playthrough as well. We'll do an OG playthrough and then remake Rebirth before Part 3. We're gonna go through those Icicle In files again and all that stuff. We're gonna really pay attention to the dialogue again, see if we see anything else. Yeah. It 100% is. Not Lucrezia. Ifalna refers to her as something in those files. I think virus might have been used, but I don't know. I don't remember entirely. Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing about Jenova that we don't know. We don't know any more about her. Like, has she devoured planets before? Is this the first one? Is she the only one of her kind? Is she an outcast? Like, we don't know any of these, the answers to any of these questions. But those questions exist just because Jenova exists. Oh yes, that we know. What we do know is that when Professor Gas and Hojo first discovered Jenova in what is written in the Gas report, a 2,000-year-old stratum, whatever that fucking means. I think it just means that she was discovered in like a stasis shell or just some kind of crystal, whatever. We don't know. When they were discovered. She was discovered in an archaeological dig, so to speak, and the moment Hojo laid eyes on her, he was just on board with the Kool-Aid. He was sipping Kool-Aid like crazy. And his only mission has been to reawaken Jenova from the get-go, and every single movie is made is trying to bring that about. He deceived Professor Gast. He deceived Shinra. Hojo deceived everybody just to further his ambition to wake Jenova up. That's all his goal has ever been, is to wake Jenova up. He is literally chaotic evil. I've never seen Stargate. I'm sorry, I can't make that comparison. She's like a Borg. No, I don't even know Star Trek, dude. I'm sure it does, but, you know, there's way too much shit in this world. Like, goddamn, you guys got me to watch Freerin for finally. Like, give me a fucking break here. Oh, I'll say right now, it's definitely worth watching. You'd probably like it a lot. Me knowing, if I know you at all, I think you'd like it. And yes, the mimics are, like, it's all hilarious. I love it. I do think the entire season was very good, and I think the ending episodes were great. But episode 3 is still my favorite. Buffy is better than Star Wars? Get out. It's get your shitting out! I'm not the demographic. Fair. I've never watched Buffy either. I'm just gonna be honest and frank about it. I've never watched Buffy. Firefly? Never seen Firefly either, Adam. Franken Beans! God, dude, it is so fucking hot today. It's like a few degrees cooler than yesterday, but it's still like 100, but it feels even muggier in my room today. Jesus. Die in here. I can't. That's the problem. The hat? I ain't losing my hat. Oh my god. I mean, it might cool me off to have the hat on. Just drop the cam. True. We might have to do that if I'm gonna continue streaming this weekend. Just go no cam, because it's like I'm literally naked right now. The problem with that though is sitting on my chair bareback, you know, you know, my back gets all sticky and gets, oh, it's awful. Swamp back. I never thought of draping a towel. That's not a bad idea. I didn't think of that. Oh yeah, no, like sleeping, bro, I'm on top of my bed with just my boxers. Fucking 90 degrees, it feels like. It's crazy. It's times like these I wish they invented a blanket that's cool. Like a cold blanket. I'll bet there are some there, but they're probably crazy. Weird. What do you mean introduce the concept of a TV show spin-off? The monster under... I don't get it. There are? We need to look into getting one. One or two. Two, three, four, five. Yeah, might as well. I'd be curious at least. Oh, I get it. Oh, okay. I gotcha. Sorry, my brain's, you know, having a little bit of, you know, a little trouble right now. My hair is all fucking sweaty. Ugh. Yes, right now, motherfucker. I know what I said. God damn it. The hat is also drenched. Fuck you, Reyna. I'll show you easy. Fucking show you easy, motherfucker. Sometime. Yeah, and then... What up, Dark Sword? Thank you. Lurk away, man. Lurk away. Thanks for being here. Like I don't already fucking know, Reno. What do you mean I don't read chat? I read chat all the time. I would say I'm one of the more attentive... Like, I've done a very good job of being a very attentive streamer. I don't read. I read every fucking day. I read more than you guys read. Fucking read. What? I don't have Texas. That would be the worst. That would be the most annoying thing in the world. To be trying to speedrun this and having fucking Siri just text-to-speeching in my head every time. I don't read chat incorrectly that much. You fuck. I have like a 95% accuracy rate. I'm sure you can, Reno. That's not the point. Which voice it is. It could be fucking Tifa whispering into my ear and it would still be awful. Yes, I know, Reno, I know! That's not the point! Oh my god. Actually, I don't know if we could. You'd have to record your voice lines for every fucking word, right? Like, isn't that how that works? Like, you would have to record your voice to say every word for it to work? Or, I don't know. I don't know how that shit works. Does it just... I don't know. God, even he wouldn't want to do that. That would be more work than just programming a text-to-speech with his voice. I guarantee it. If he were to have to do that every single day I chatted, he would rather make the damn text-to-speech bot. You're asking for way too much work, Reno. You're asking for way too much fucking work right now. 8 years, try 37. I've been hearing my own fucking same voice for 37 goddamn years, man. Take a fucking number. Just because you're used to something doesn't mean you like it, Reno. I'm used to sweating my ass off in the summer. Doesn't mean I like it. Probably more than some, but not overall, no. Do I like having sweat rolling down the crack of my ass like Niagara? No. Shout out to Robin Williams for that one. Thank you very much. Reno, come on, man. Yes, nobody likes hearing themselves except Narcissus or Trump. But other than that, I don't think anybody likes the sound of their own voice. When I'm editing my videos, it's on mute. Mostly. I have to hear when I finish. But, like, when I finish a good cutoff point for a video. No. I said Narcissus, as in the Greek god Narcissus, or Trump. Not a narcissist, which he is, but the Greek god Narcissus. Well, demigod, whatever the fuck. He was on Olympus, right? I mean, I guess that is Disney Hercules, so I don't know. I'm pretty sure... Then did Hercules just turn Narcissus into a god for some reason? This is what I get for believing Disney. Hold on. Let's settle this with Google. is Narcissus. Okay. Yes, a very pretty man. He was in love with himself. Yes. No, Narcissus is not a Greek god in mythology. Oh, in some versions, Narcissus was the son of the river god Cephisus and the nymph Liriope will... Okay, what kind of god is Narcissus? Come on, I'm clicking you! Oh my god, phone. Yes, that's my default. Apparently. My mom's like, don't yell at me. I'm like, I'm not yelling! Okay, so, yeah, so Narcissus was just a man that I guess, you know, I'll bet Disney Hercules just did it for the joke, because it was a pretty funny joke. I haven't seen this much love in a room since Narcissus discovered himself. And he just... do the kissy face. It's a pretty funny joke, I'll give him that. Even if they did, like, make up Greek mythology in the process. No, I don't yell at my mom. She just thinks I'm yelling sometimes when I'm not. And I'm like, I'm not yelling, it's just my default. This is not me yelling. I always tell her, you'll know if I'm yelling. I'm not yelling, but you'd know if I was yelling. Do I check my blood pressure? No, I don't think I've checked my blood pressure in... ever. Yes, ever. I don't think I've ever checked my blood pressure. I think I've only had my blood pressure taken when I've been at doctor's offices, and it's always fine, so whatever. No, I said she will know when I yell at her, which has been never. It's like, you won't have to wonder, is he yelling at me? You'll know I'm yelling at you. Ass. I have not been yelling at... Well, okay, sometimes I yell at you guys. Not often, but, you know, sometimes I do, but not often. Well, you're an idiot, Gabe. Alright. I'm not being toxic, I'm being truthful. That's a you problem, sir. The fuck is that cat doing? Yep, Disney lied. Alright, fine. Just the point is still there, unless you're Narcissus or Trump. There you go. You know, nobody likes the sound of their own voice. I can't look at that right now, Gabe. Thank you for your attention on this matter! Why is Pepe a slug? Steve-O, what's up, man? How you doing? Thank you so much for the 74-month resub with Prime Gaming. Oh, okay. Has Pepe been racistalized? I don't even know what you would call it. Has it been, has Pepe been freed yet? I guess is the right term for it. There was like this whole to-do like a couple of years ago about Pepe being racist or something, and then I think its emotes got removed from Twitch for a while. I think I remember something like that happening. No! Pepe the Frog! That's his fucking name! I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get a gold split, but we'll try. He didn't miss anything. Yeah, at least it's not soccer, am I right? Fuck that bitch. Whatever, I don't care. Something that Penguin added a long time ago. Cloud dodging there is not good. Not good at all. I think I'm gonna let him... Yeah, I think because Cloud dodged that, I'm gonna actually let him get off his twin... Never mind. I'm not gonna let him get off anything. gonna have to put a hyper on cloud, I think. We'll see. This could complicate bottom as well a little bit. Except for a nice MLT, mutton, lettuce, and tomato sandwich where the mutton is nice and lean and the tomatoes right. They're so perky. I love that. But that's not what he said. He distinctly said to blave. And as we all know, to blave means to bluff. Huh? So he's probably playing cards and he cheated. No, not BLT, MLT. Mutton, lettuce, and tomato sandwich. Bye-bye, boys! Have fun storming the castle. Think it'll work? It'll take a miracle. Bye-bye! I think Billy Crystal was funny for his time. I think his form of comedy won't make modern, like, kids or modern, like, Gen Zers laugh, but I think he was pretty funny in a lot of things. I think if you talk about legacy of Billy Crystal, yeah, he was a funny comedian. At the end of the day, he's a funny comedian. He was funny without having to be really raunchy, which is kind of tough if you watch, like, a lot of the greatest comedians throughout history. Robin Williams, Jim Carrey, Eddie Murphy, the old guy. Oh my god. You know, there's a lot. Yeah, George Carlin, you know. Like, all, like, some of the greatest comedians ever had raunchiness to their bit. But Billy Crystal, as far as I know, was pretty PG-13 oriented with his comedy and still very funny. But it always will lack that zing that cursing and raunchiness adds to it. Like, I think that the greatest thing I ever discovered was that Bob Saget was a completely filthy human being when it came to comedy. Because I only knew him from America's Funniest Home Videos, and he was funny on America's Funniest Home Videos, but he was just, like, so tame and so G-rated humor, and then you come to find out that fucking Bob Saget was, like, one of the filthiest human beings when it came to comedy ever, and I'm like, oh my god, that's the funniest thing I've ever seen. Yep, I did know about that. Yep, Tim Allen was formerly a drug dealer. Okie dokie. Eddie Murphy does have some of the funniest stand-up I've ever seen. You watch some of his stand-up, like, back in his Beverly Hills Cop days? Oh my god. That's some of the funniest shit ever. I don't think that's the best and most likely way to achieve that goal, Gabe. I think that there are better pathways to that. Okay, even in LA, like, you look at, like, the amount of people that have moved on to be celebrity actors. How many origin story is failed, busted cocaine drug dealer? Probably one. Then how many others are a completely different way? That's a little, that while it's not consistent by any means, and it is a difficult thing to get into, you know. One, two, three, four, five. Adam Sandler probably has made a lot, but I don't know if he's made the most. No, Jim Carrey's made a lot of money. I mean, you'd have to look at, if you, like, there's a couple ways you can look at it. You can look at it like, how much did they get paid per film and add it all together? Or you gotta look at royalties and other things like that and add that to it. I don't know, it's hard to say. Net worth is not indicative of who made the most money as a comedian. It's how much do you have. So, like, Jim Carrey could have made more than Adam Sandler, but be worth less because of poor money management, right? So the question is not who is worth more, it's who's made more money. I have no idea what you're talking about, Gabe. would say it probably does. One might say it smells like rotting pizza. Fuck if I know, Gabe. What do you want to eat for dinner? Nothing. I had Popeyes. I had chicken tendies, fries, biscuit, and a drink. Love that chicken from Popeyes. I'm not a fan of coleslaw. My mom likes coleslaw. No, God, no. Fuck no. I would never do such a stupid... I called them... I called out every single one of the people in my guild that bought that thing. Fucking enablers. Jesus. Fucking shills. I don't know. I've only really had the barbecue. I only really like barbecue sauce and sometimes ketchup. I'm not a condiments kind of person. thank you for the 83-month resub. Appreciate it. Condiments game, not condoms.
Putting this towards your Brutosaur purchase, Karn Love.
That's a great question. Probably because some people say inappropriate things in text-to-speech and it filters it out. Or it's just being a bitch, I don't know. Barbecue bacon beef pizza? Ugh. Why? Why? What's wrong with just like sausage and olive or pepperoni? Like, what the fuck? I'll bet you do have shrooms, you dirty boy. Shrimp on pizza? What? That sounds amazing. What? I need to move to Sweden. I mean, Boston, it makes sense with Boston being, I think, a fairly big fishing city. I could be wrong, though, but I'm pretty sure Boston is known for fishing. Oh, God, dude, I'm dying here. I might not be able to continue tonight. This is crazy. Holy shit. I'm losing it right now. Fuck. And just in case you were wondering, yes, we have the AC on too. It does not matter. I have two fans blowing at me too. Blowing at me? Yeah, that's correct. What's the AC at? Probably like 70 or something? But Mom was commenting that the AC upstairs is not blowing as cold as the one downstairs, so it might need something replaced. Like some coolant or something. We might have to stop running it. Fuck you, Reno. We might have to stop running it because it might be bad if it's running with that. When it doesn't have that or whatever. Nice. I'm at the opposite of that. Well, not the opposite, the inverse of that. It's 96 right now. At least according to my computer, but it could be hotter where I'm actually at. I don't even know where to look right now for the temperature. Am I just retarded right now? Yes, I am. There we go. Yeah, it's 100 and... Okay. How do we lose? Oh yeah, because we got an encounter on the way and then Sephiroth Res, so that accounts for about 40 seconds of time lost. At least the AC works downstairs, so if I can't continue today, I might just... I gotta clean up the living room, because we might have to take my mom's client and take care of her at our house like we did Dad, if she can't go back home by herself, so... Whoops. Okay, let's just fucking go. Oh, God. So I might be back to a similar situation like when I was taking care of my dad here very soon. It's not set in stone yet by any means, but there's a pretty decent chance of it. The kitchen floor is a little dirty right now. It would not be good to lie on, but yeah. We do have tile flooring in the kitchen, so it would hopefully be pretty cold. God, I'm getting a headache. I think I'm gonna actually have to stop because I'm getting a fucking headache right now just from the heat. I'm gonna see if we can go a little bit longer and it settles down. If it doesn't, I might have to stop. I'm trying to... What is it? What's the word? Suffer through it, I think is the term. Oh, you know, this summer hasn't really been that hot. It's only been like the last 3 or 4 days that have actually been really hot this summer, at least for us. I know in some other areas it's been pretty hot for a while. But these are like the first actual hot days we've had all summer. Bro, what is up with the runaways today? Come on. Alright. I kind of want to see how Bottomswell goes. If he gives Cloud the limit break for Genova Birth, then we can all keep toughing it out. But if he doesn't, then we'll probably just call it and shoot for tomorrow if it's cooler. So let's see how Bottomsville does. Because if he doesn't give Cloud a limit break going into Genova Birth, we'll lose a lot of time there and potentially die. Or at least die with like Cloud. Which is not good. I'm not doing that. I would go take like a cold shower though, or a cold bath. Alright. That settles that. That settles that big time. We're gonna try to tough it out. Who the fuck wears swimming trunks when they bathe? Like, what the fuck is that? Best RNG on this fight, at least. What makes you think I would do something like that? Protect my giblets from what? Water? God, you're giving me an even bigger headache. Fuck. What, people smacking my pingus in the bathtub? What? The fuck is wrong with y'all? Pingus in the bathtub. I can't think right now. I can't explain. What do you mean, what kind of stream this is? This isn't your first time here. You know what the fuck you're getting into anytime you're in my stream. Thanks, Gary. I appreciate you trying to help, man. I appreciate the thought. It's the thought that counts. What the fuck is Frankensons? Yeah, today is Friday. Am I okay? I don't know if I'm okay. No. SoCal is pretty big, you know. Like, SoCal is bigger than some states. City of Industry? I don't live near the city of fucking Industry. I think City of Industry is like in 30, 40-minute drive. I don't fucking know. Bro, San Diego, you know how far San Diego is from me? No fucking way, man. California is bigger than a lot of places, Gary. California is bigger than a lot of countries. I wouldn't really call myself a weeb. I don't really collect a lot of anime shit. Oh my god. Oh god. Dying here. Sounds cool. That's not exactly something I could do right now, Gary. I'm trying to suffer through it to keep going today. Oh boy. Is the audio stuttering? Let me refresh. I don't know if you mean stuttering or just not sync. But let me just refresh, just in case. Let me know if refreshing helped at all. Anything change? Or is it fun? Okay. Oh god. It might not matter. Oh Jesus. Like a record skip? That's interesting. Oh god. I can feel how wet my back is. My shirt. Oh, this is horrible! Ah! Why me, dude? Why does this happen to me? How could this happen to me? Bro, we might not even make it there. This guy is sick. I'm trying though, I really am. Oh, it's icky. Oh, God, it's icky. Oh. The heat in my bedroom is boiling the equipment. You know, you might not be wrong about that. It's a fucking sauna in here. I honestly might need to just shut down everything. I don't know. This is misery. My room has always been the hottest room in the house, but this is a whole nother level of fucking craziness. This is like being in a bathhouse. Bathhouse? Steam room? We have the AC going, that's the thing. It doesn't matter. When it's so hot sometimes, it doesn't matter. But the AC upstairs, Mom says it's not blowing as cool as the AC downstairs, so we might have to get something replaced, like some coolant or whatever it is that they do with ACs, so we just might be shut of luck right now. You know, it probably wouldn't hurt if I cleaned up my room a little bit more. Whoop. The disc? I don't know about the disc. But... GG what? What's GG what? Did something happen? Something happen? Did my shit shut off? Hello? What? What's going on? Okay. I thought something. I thought maybe I went offline. Oh my goodness. Fucking siesta. I'm not tired. I'm not fucking tired, Reno. I'm fucking. It's fucking hot. I'm not sleepy. I'm fucking. Oh my god! I just felt my back. Ah! 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 Oh, it's awful. Oh. Oh, that's disgusting. Oh. Oh. Oh, it smells too. Oh god. Okay. Oh boy, that was. Ah! Fuck! Oh god. Oh man. I feel bad for my chair too. I mean, it is falling apart. That's the one thing about leather chairs is they are very comfortable, but they fall apart, you know. I mean, you're not wrong on that, Reno. You're not wrong. Oh, fuck me. This feels like such a fuck. I feel like such a shit. Well, I didn't get to stream yesterday because of the heat, so I thought, hey, you know, maybe give everybody a little surprise on Friday, but no! It has to be hotter today! Oh my god. Like, I can't do this for another 5 hours. I'm sorry. I can't. I'm dying. I'm literally gonna pass out if I continue. I gotta get undressed. I gotta go take a cold bath or something. All right. We'll see how the weather is tomorrow. I've got to talk to Mom about the AC. We might have to get a repair guy out to fix something, but this is insane. I can't function right now. You guys take it easy, okay? Why does YouTube chat do that? Like, why can't they fix that? Like, fuck. I like having both chats, but what the fuck is that about? Why does it do that? Oh. Why? It was fuck them. That's why. All right.